Hi guys, how we doing? It is good to see you. Happy 2023 and welcome to the new year. So Tanny bought me an amazing thing for Christmas. It was awesome, it's fabulous and I love it. It's a brand new camera for filming with, which is awesome. However, I've had to learn to use it. And in this video, as much as I've tried to put everything that I possibly could about what I was doing with the leftovers from Christmas dinner, there is stuff missing. Okay, there is massive stuff missing. So I've tried to put the video together the best way I could. I apologise for things that are missing, that the pictures aren't great, the quality's not great. Please take into consideration I'm learning a new camera, learning how to use it properly, you're learning how to do the mic properly. I haven't made a video in over a month, not a proper one, and forgot to put the top light on in occasions, forgot to turn the microphone on, but in the end, we kind of got there. Great way to start the year. Let's just leave it at that and get on with the video. So this is semi-serious, semi-not serious. It is what it is, but I hope you guys get something out of it. If you do get something out of it, please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content. I promise it's going to be a lot better than this is. And I will see you at the end. One. Put this in here. Here we go. That's two. All I have to do now because there is one other thing that we want to put on here, and we're going to break up some of these stuffing balls and we're going to put them on the top, a little bit like dumplings. Here we go, all squishied in. I'm going to wash my hands, so I'm going to grab the pastry. Now, I didn't use all of my pastry that I bought this year, but it's been in the fridge now, so unless it's on something or cooked on something or made onto something, I don't really want to put it back in the freezer because it'll go a bit funny. So, but we're going to do one of these with a short crust lid and one of them with a puff pastry lid. So, okay, so just do that. Then that can all be tucked in, and then when you're ready to cook it, you just want to glaze it, give it a bit of an egg wash or a milk wash, whatever you've got. I'm just going to give it a bit of a patiny top because, you know, why not. And we want to do that because we want the steam to release. Otherwise we're going to end up with a not so nice pie. So there we go, and then that gets its top on like that, and straight in the freezer on a baking dish. Christmas dinner pie, 27th of December 2022. There we go. And that one is short crust. And again, all you have to do with that when you go to put it in the oven is glaze it and yeah, put it in the oven like you normally would a normal pie for as long as it will take. It's up to you if you freeze it, if you defrost it before you put it in. I would defrost it before I put it in. Just pull it out in the morning so it's ready to go. Christmas dinner pie, 27th December 2022. Puff. There we go. So yeah, just pop it in the oven for what you would a normal pie, for as long as you want, as long as it takes. Okay, cool. That's 2 more down. We are going to make use of these fresh veg because we don't want them going off. I'm just going to flip my board over because it's covered in gravy. We don't really want gravy in this, to be honest. Okay, to start off with, we're going to put a little bit of oil in our slow cooker, like that, and these onions. Right, so they're in there. They're going to start sauteing off in a second. The next thing we want to put in are some carrots. Straight in, because you want them sauteing off as quickly as possible. That should probably be enough of those. Now I'm going to put in some celery, probably about half of that. There we go. And then we're going to pop in a couple of peppers. We're going to do a red one and a green one. Capsicum, whatever you want to call them. Now this isn't going to be a really spicy hot curry. Tani can't do really spicy hot, for those of you who know. So I will only be putting a little bit of spice in and using my Indian spice blend. And if you want the recipe for my Indian spice blend, which is allium free, then have a look at the link that I will put a card up for about now-ish. I'll also put a link down below in the description for it as well. There we go. And then we're going to put in some sweet potato, because we've got one of those left. Sweet potato. Then we've got some sprouts that are left over. Ooh, crunch. Probably use half a bag in this. I don't want to play with that one right now. Right. So just going to shred these. or just quarter them even. Actually, I'm just going to quarter them. It's just going to make life easier, you know? Now this one's going to be a milk curry because we don't have any yogurt, but that's okay. You know, there's nothing wrong with using milk as a curry base, and you can thicken it up if you want to. It's entirely up to you. And then we're going to chuck in some peas. And then I'm going to get this turkey and cut up a bunch of that too. And I am using the dark meat for this. It is easier for a curry. Better for a curry. I've just found another tendon. Ugh. There we go. Get rid of that because no one wants to chew on that. Gosh. Is that another one? Oh my gosh. Be really careful about these guys because the tendons are really awful in the legs. And I think it's why a lot of people don't like dark meat, because you get a lot of those. That in there. Now this is going to be enough curry for us for about 2 weeks if we ate it every day. So, but we're not going to eat it every day. We're going to put it in containers and it'll go in the freezer. I'm going to use my Indian spice blend. Like I said, I will put a link to this down below in the description. And I'm going to put all that I have in there, which is about 2 tablespoons. Time to make some more. And I'm also going to use a little bit of the My Family Garden chili acha, a little bit, because I personally do not want to kill Tanny, you know, because, you know, he doesn't mind a little bit of heat, but he does mind if it's more than pepper. So that should do it, actually. Now I'm going to pour the milk in here. To about halfway up. Now, when you're making a milk-based curry, one of the main things you want to do if you're making it for freezing, don't thicken it yet. Thicken it when you're making it. And just use a basic corn flour slurry. Okay, so you don't want to be causing a lot of grief at the table, you know, in the freezer, because if you put the corn flour slurry in and then freeze it, it won't re-thicken, or it may thicken too much and it will cause other issues. All we want to do is just very quickly have meals that are available for us to just go and nom on. So that looks pretty cool. We're going to put the lid on that and we're going to leave it alone for half an hour, and it should be fine by then for putting in his baggies. Right, it's got to be brew time. It's got to be brew time. So when it comes down to our curry, which is now done, and it's beautiful, and it's day 2 by the way. Hi! We're going to be freezing them off in bags because it's just going to be easier that way. So what we do to measure out, we use one of our cups like this, and we put 2 cups in a bag because that's enough for us. That's a serve each for us. Okay, so pop that in there like that. Ooh, now I was going to water bath these in some jars. Bless his heart, Tanny is very new to preserving food and doing all that kind of stuff, and he's a little bit concerned, but that's okay. So I was said that I would do them in the freezer, and then later on in the year, or later on in the next couple of months or something like that, I'm going to put a little bit more juice in this because that's our sauce at the end of the day. That I would do some things in water bathing so that oh god, that's good. He's comfortable with it, and you know, doesn't have to worry so much. Now that's got to be flattened out like that. I'm just gonna very quickly let the rest of that air out of this corner. I don't want to. There are better ways than this. But that'll do for now. So once it's done flat, it's all groovy. So that's enough for one meal for us. So that's one meal. Alright, what do you reckon? I reckon that we've probably got about 4 or 5 meals out of this lot, honestly. So see, the other thing as well is that I predominantly eat vegetarian meals. I don't generally eat a lot of meat. So it may be that a lot of what I'm making with these leftovers is actually what Danny's going to be eating and I'm not. So, you know, it's not a big deal either. It does mean that I don't need to worry about him. If I'm eating a veggie meal, I can just pull something out like this. And he's more than happy with that. There we go. That's 2. A little bit more of that juice. Let's get it down in the corner a bit. That should do it. The other thing is as well that you can add a little bit more sauce or whatever if that's what you want to do, liquid to the sauce later on if you don't think you have enough. And that's okay, but like I said, what we will do is we will thicken our sauces as we use them. That's 3. As I said, I think we're going to get 4 out of this, which is fine. They still have so much to do. Oh my god. Oops. So yeah, in this video as well, you will find some quality going up and down, probably in the sound and probably in the sight. I'm getting used to the new camera that Tanny bought me for Christmas. And trying to get it right. So apologies if it's a bit all over the place, but you know, I'm doing this in the week before Christmas and New Year's. We're all a bit all over the place in those 6 days. So give us a break, right? Right. Yeah. Got a good 4 meals out of that. Which is not too bad for a few little bits of leftover wonky veg. And some, you know, bits of this and that. Bit of milk that probably wasn't good enough for coffee, but definitely good enough for cooking with. So, if you want to know more about what I mean by that, I'll put a link in the description to my 5 best ways of using up sour milk video. Yes, shameless plug. Do I look bothered? No, I do not look bothered. Right, so yeah, now that will go in the freezer as like that right now. What's that doing here still? And they will be left like that until they're frozen. Then I can actually store them upright in the freezer. So they're off now. Oof! Our next job is to get the soup going. We're going to do a turkey and vegetable soup. Just basic, with all the veg that we've got left over, like the wonky veg we've got left over from the veg straw. We're going to use that. So we've got a red pepper, wonky old celeriac, few sad looking carrots, some onions, and half a bag of sprouts. About a dozen sprouts. And that's already half filled our pot. Pretty good going actually, just quietly. I got the wrong tray of meat out, I got the ham out. Right, I got to get the turkey. So I'm going to get those to saute off a bit. But while they're doing that, we're also, I saved a whole chicken breast and I've chunk chopped it with a little bit of what was left over of the dark meat, and that is enough for the soup then. Just chunk chop it into big dice straight into the pot. Simples! Simples! Oh, we're done. Oh, there's one there. And next, we're going to add our water. Now I haven't got any stock, so water it is. So we'll just add some herbs and spices as we go, hey? So what I have now is just some basic mixed herbs. I want to get rid of that pot anyway, so we're just going to chuck that in. That's going to be perfect, just as it is. So we don't want it to be too overpowered in flavour. We want it to be fairly mild, because if it's too much, then you lose the flavour of everything else that's in here. So we're just going to, that's plenty. And now we're going to put the lid on and go and have a brew. It is really early this morning and the soup has cooled off enough that I can put it in containers for the freezer. Now one thing I wanted to say is that this is just a base. It's just a base. Okay, so there's nothing like potatoes in it. There's nothing like pasta in it. There's nothing like pearl barley in it. You know, I could add those at any point. There's not a lot of stock in it either, but that's okay because we can actually just quietly add to that when we pull it out of the freezer next. You know, one thing I could do is add some tin tomatoes. I could add some pearl barley to it. I could add some pasta, whatever. But if I put those in now and they go in the freezer, when it comes out, it's going to be minging. It's not going to be nice to eat. The texture's going to be god awful, and it's just going to ruin the whole thing. Now we're having that bit for our tea tonight and probably tomorrow night with some munchies because it's New Year's. But it means that these 2 containers are going to do us several meals because I will be bulking them up as we need them, not right now. So yeah, this is a really good way of using up some of your turkey and stuff. Alright, I need to get dressed, go and do the things, get some more stuff done, tidy up. I mean, all this stuff around the place that you can see is from making Tanny's lunches this morning before I sent him off to work. Today we're going to do some potato bake. Alright, so we got the last bag of our wonky potatoes. I've just part boiled those. I've got about 10 little onions in there. Got some peas, got some mushrooms, got some leftover cream. I was going to make a cheesecake. Yeah, that didn't happen. I've got some leftover sausages and some cheese. Some just graty cheese stuff. So we're going to mix all that together and stick in the container and stick in the freezer. Because you know we can. So we want to do a lot of this while the potatoes are still pretty warm. Okay, because we want some of that cheese to melt. Now, here we go. We're going to do it in 2 batches. So we've got, doesn't matter what soft cheese you use. I've got Quark here. I'm going to use put half of that in there just now. Okay, and then we're going to put one of the cream cheeses. That's going in. The honesty of it is, right, we all buy far too much stuff at Christmas and we don't know what to do with it afterwards, especially if we haven't had time to make the things that we plan to make with it. So the plan is then to try and get as many things out of it as we possibly can to make new meals to keep us going for the next couple of months. Ooh, I've got kitchen roll this time. I don't normally get it, but fingers, ew, yuck. Right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to add one of these cream. Now this is 270 ml, so it's about half a pint of cream, and we're just going to mix all that up because we want that to melt around and make like a creamy sauce around our potatoes. Now this can be used as a side dish for a bigger thing if you wanted to, or because we're adding things like sausages, mushrooms and all that kind of stuff, you can use it as an actual meal, which we've done on lots of occasions. Right, here we go, so it's all mixed up. Lovely. Now if you wanted to add garlic and stuff in that, you can. I'm not going to, because as we now know, Tanny's a baby mouth and a pain in my ass when it comes to stuff like this. So we're just going to put that aside for a second, chop up some mushrooms, which we also didn't get to use because, you know, Christmas, we buy too much shit. Right, Okay, but we're just going to chop those up into slices. Now you can pre-cook these if you want, and you can pre-cook the onions if you want. If you've got leftover baked onions, use those. Chop them up, slice them up, chuck them in. Who cares? It's how you make it. I'm just making it this way this time, and it will just have to do. Ew, that one's gone yuck. Right, that can go over there. If you put your thumb through a mushroom, it's not fit for eating. Just be aware of that. Actually, that's a rule of thumb for most vegetables. Rule of thumb. See what I did there? Yep. Okay. Let's get that out the way, bring this back. Chuck all our mushrooms in. Ta-da-da! Oh! Okay. And we're going to chuck a whole heap of these onions in there too. Right? Yep. Bish bash bosh, done. Now, this is where I've got to get to the sausage jars. And we're going to start. They've started drying out a bit on the end. I'm not that worried. We're just going to get them all. And again, you could cut these up and fry them off if you wanted to. It's not necessary. You've got to remember this is going in the oven. It's going to get baked. It's going to get properly cooked through. It's no big. Now, if you're a bit of a fusspot, take the skins off. To be honest, I'd take the skins off anyway, because no one likes a mouthful of sausage skin. It is nasty. Just not nice. Not nice. No. No. Just no. But if they're too stuck, don't worry too much, because again, they'll melt as they cook in the potato bake. So, oi, what do you mean you're stuck together? Stop this. Oh. There we go. Done. Right. In you go! Now, at this point, you could also add chopped up ham. You could add chopped up turkey if that's what you want to do. To be honest, I want something that doesn't have those things in it, because I'm done. I'm done with turkey and ham. I don't want to see it anymore. Not until next year. Or at least until next week when we have to open up one of our freezer meals, you know. But, you know what I mean, right? Okay. Ooh. And looky here, we have a bag of peas. We're going to chuck a few of those in because we can. Because we can pretend like we've got vegetables in there. And feel less guilty about giving the kids a bottle of ketchup to cover everything up with, you know, because kids. What are you gonna do? Right. So, here we go. That's all in. So if you wanted to, you could add broccoli to that if that's what you wanted to do. If you've got half a bag of broccoli floating around the place, add that. If you've got a limp looking whatever it is, chuck that in. Just chop it up into mouth-sized pieces, because this you don't want really, really big. You just want it manageable. Now, we're going to get our foily tins and add it in. Oof.
Yeah, if you got leftover bacon, anything like that, just chuck it in. Just chuck it in. Now we've got, out of 4 or 5 or 6 I'll have to go back in the video and check, very disheveled looking sausages, half a packet of wonky potatoes, a packet of reduced mushrooms, some leftover cream cheese we weren't going to use for anything because we don't eat it like that. We got a couple of meals going. And again, these can be side dishes. Whoops, wrong way, almost. Whoopsie doopsie. Or they can be a whole meal. Because, you know, and the other thing is as well, is while you're doing this, right, if you want to, just when you defrost it for cooking, just chuck some cheese on it, you know, because I forgot to do that bit, which I can probably do on this one, because, you know, I've got a leftover bag of cheesy stuff. Oh, just get on there. Right, so there we go. Right, there we have it. Potato bake. Right, let's chuck that over there. Put this over here. We're going to have to find a pen to write on because, you know, we're going to have to. Right, so it's the 29th today, I think. Is it the 29th today? I don't know. I don't know. One day it's just melting into the other and I've got no clue what's going on anymore. It's not going to make much difference. I'm going to put the 29th of December 2022. Potato bake. Right. When you stick it in the oven, you just want it on gas mark 5 or 6. 180 Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit, for as long as it takes for it to get golden brown and defrosted. Better off bringing it out in the morning, okay, and then just sticking it in the oven when you get home. It'll probably take about 20-30 minutes. Okay, get off. Right, potato bake, 29th December 2022. There we go. Right, those two are ready for the freezer. I better get them in there before I can't, because there's too many other things in there. We're going to do a ham and turkey based one now because we've just got so much of it. Right. Stick that in our bowl. The leftover onion. Get rid of all of that over there. Got to do some more mushrooms because mushrooms, or do we? No, we do. We definitely do. Alright, let's do that. Oh my god. Okay, more mushrooms. There we go. Right, oof, let's get rid of those out of the way. I need my drink a minute. Whew. That's water, by the way, it's not pure vodka, I'm just saying. It's not quite that bad yet today. Right, mushrooms are in. The last of our peas, our little wonky peas, are in. We've got, give it, the other half of our quark. That can go in. Squidge. Get gone. And then we have our other little creamy cheese. We just get the cheap stuff. See, I almost did it. Almost. But I didn't, because I'm a good girl. Nope. Right. Ah, my fingers! Good God. Alright. Let's just scoop that out. That'll do. That's out. Give me a kitchen roll. I want this monkey stuff off my feet. Goodness. Ew. 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 Okay, let's get rid of that. And the cream. The other thing also is this. If you don't have seasonings right now, that's okay. Because when you defrost it, you can mix them in. And it's fine. Or you can sprinkle them on and it's fine. So I'm just going to put... No, I'm not. It's empty. Right. I'm not putting any seasonings in this. My seasonings will be the turkey and the ham. Good grief. Right. Let's get some of this out. Oh, it's a big chunky bit. I love that. Big chunky bit. Thank you very much. This is all the white meat. Now, the rest of this will be going in packages in the freezer, because the other things that I can make with this don't freeze that well, but they'll get used. So let's get going. Right. Chop them all up into bite. What was that? Keep an eye out for them. Them's bones. Them's not fun. Apparently that one got left behind. So just keep an eye out when you're stripping your bird for the bony bits. Hey, we've talked about the dark meat bits, but that's nasty. That's some nastiness right there that none of us want to end up with a little bit of in our gob. Right. Back to this. Choppy choppies. Choppy choppy choppies. Choppy 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 choppy. Chippy choppy choppy chippy choppy choppy chippy. Chop 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 chop. Do you know what? It's at this time of the year where you think, if I see another turkey, I'm done. I'm done. I will lose it. 1,000 times I will lose it. Right, turkey's done. Let's get some of this ham out. There's a big chunky bit. Now when you put it through a food slicer like we have, and can I just say, if you buy nothing else for your kitchen, get yourself a food slicer. It will save you hundreds of pounds in the first year that you buy it. I'm not even kidding. If we didn't have the food slicer, we wouldn't have all this, because we would be cutting it far too thick, and it would be just, it wouldn't go as far as it does. Right, chompy chompy in the bowlie. This bowl's getting rather full. Okay, more chops, chopsy chopsies. Right, okay. Whew. I think I'm done, you know. I think I am. Now I know I have a little tub of spinach there, but if I put that in there, Tanny will not eat it. He won't touch it, he won't smell it, he won't even look at it. So that's for me for later. I'm just saying. You know, we all got fussy eaters in our houses. Tani just has to be the king of all of them. So we're going to mix this up somehow. Get it all mixed in somehow. Mummy. Oh, we're starting to see potato. So just generally pull it up from the bottom so that cheese can go in there and get melted into the hot potatoes. If anyone starts singing the Wiggle song right now, you and I are going to have problems. I'm just saying. Right, there we go. I think that's going to be enough, to be honest. I think we're good. Now we just need our last two. Oh, give me that. Seriously, gross. Not fun. Right. Our last two metal containers, foily things. Now if we had a massive freezer and I had lots of money, I'd get the glass ones because I could, but I don't. We're poor, so we're using these. Okay. Right. And then this one. Get in there. Oh, shivers. Okay. Right. There we go. Waste not, want not. There we go. Now, we don't have any graty cheese left or grateable cheese left. So this is pretty much how it's done right now. Later on, when we pull it out, I'll probably grate some cheese over the top of it because I will be able to. Move. Right. Ugh. Okay. Meat lasagna, 14th of October. I think that was one that I made earlier. So was that one. They're not meat lasagna. Oh my god. I might have made too many tops. But that doesn't stop anything. We just go potato bake. Turkey and ham. 30th of December. Look, I don't know what the date is. It's either 29th or the 20th or the 30th. I don't know, don't care. It's only a couple of days difference. Who cares? It's not that big a deal. It really isn't. Because these all get eaten by about April anyway, so I'm not really that bothered. Right. One down. Get off. Ugh. One to go. They're heavy. Potato bake. Turkey and ham. 30th of December 2022 is already written, so I'm not going to replace that. There we go. Right. So. Okay. Those are ready for the freezer as well. Ugh. But there's a load of stuff on top of the chest freezer, so I ain't doing that right now. What I am doing, however, is I'm going to do this. I'm going to package up the rest of the ham and the turkey in Ziploc bags for the freezer for sandwiches and other meals that we may come up with. So with other things to do with the turkey, which I will probably do things like a creamy pasta sauce. Some people call it Alfredo. It's not Alfredo, it's just a creamy sauce. So yeah, I'll probably do that. Probably throw in some stir-fried broccoli, that kind of thing, as and when we have it, for a quick, cheap meal. But they will last us a good couple of days anyway. So, you know, those trays last me and Tanny a week. We don't eat a shocking lot, strangely enough, you know. But the ham, I'm going to put some in the fridge, in a thing like this in the fridge, so that he's got it for sandwiches for during the week. He won't want turkey sandwiches, I do know that. He will not. So that's one. And to be honest, I tend not to eat all of this kind of meat. It tends to be the stuff that I react to. So Tanny will probably end up with all of this for himself, and I will just be eating vegetables that we have in the freezer and some of the veggie meals that I've put aside over the last few months. So, yeah, 2 packets of turkey bird. Right. Go! Now, here we go. Now the recipes for these I will be putting up on my website. They will be also on Patreon in the next week or so as printable recipe cards. The links to both of those will be down below in the description. Definitely the Patreon. The Patreon is very, very cheap because I don't like people going out of their way and spending a lot of money. I'd rather have 100 of you get the recipe cards for £1 than 10 of you be able to do it for a tenner. Okay, so my Patreon is £1 or $1 or whatever it is a month to join. I think it's $1, which makes it around about 70p a month, and you can get printable recipe cards from there. I am rejigging everything this year. So there's the ham for this week's sandwiches for Tanny. They're in there. And I've got probably 2 more bags of ham. Oh my god. Now you can do all sorts that you want on with these. You can stick it into pasta dishes. You can stick it into rice dishes. You can... Sandwiches, obviously. Sandwiches is a really good one. Also, you know, if you're doing quiches or some kind of pie or something, go for it. But having all this in the freezer means that we've got whatever choice we want. I mean, I've done a lot of cooking over the last few days. I've still got leftovers in my fridge. I've got a lot of sausage left over because we have boiled. Because lack of communication here. I bought the sausages to do the sausage rolls to get the sausage meat for the sausage rolls for Boxing Day. Tanny went to a butcher's, saw it on his round and bought 3 lots. Decided he really liked it and bought 3 more. So I now have something like 15 packets of sausages between my fridge and freezers, and 3 packs of sausage meat. But seeing as New Year's is coming up and I've still got a little bit of pastry left, I'm going to make some more sausage rolls, probably put them in the freezer. Some in the freezer, some will be cooked, you know, so we got them for whenever. Out of all our leftovers so far, we've made 2 shepherd's pies. One's in the freezer. We've eaten the other one. We've got 2 Christmas dinner pies which will last us a week each. The other shepherd's pie will last us a week, so 1, 2, 3 weeks worth of meals there. We've got 4 lots of the potato bake. That's another 4 weeks worth of meals. So that's 8 weeks worth of meals. We also have all of this. Now, even if the ham is only used for sandwiches, the turkey itself will make 2 weeks worth more of meals. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on. Shepherd's pie, Christmas pies. 1, 2, 3, 4 potato bakes. 1, 2. That's 9 weeks worth of meals. That's not including the fact that we have a freezer that is half filled with lasagna, veggie lasagna and mac and cheese that I made earlier that you haven't seen the video for yet. I apologise. But we've still got all of those in there as well. So technically we won't have to buy anything for made meals until March. Maybe April. We could literally stretch it out until maybe April. And that's leftovers from Christmas dinner. 1 meal. Okay? So when you start looking at it that way, don't be, and I could have made stock with the turkey carcass. Tanny said not to. We had the ham stock. We normally make the gravy with the stock, so you know, and we wanted to keep the room in the freezer for meals. Oh, and we've got 4 lots of curry, and we've got 2 lots of that soup base. Forgot all about those. Yeah, we're good for April. We may not have to buy anything except for maybe a couple of bits of fresh veg here and there. Probably not even that. Some bread, maybe butter, milk, and that's it. Right up until April, because we have got enough food to feed us for weeks just out of the leftovers of Christmas dinner. And it's not like I went out of my way to have a lot of stuff, you know. This is just stuff that we normally get for Christmas. This is, you know, just the ham and the turkey. And yeah, we got a lamb as well, but we saw it on offer a couple of months back and we bought it, stuck it in the freezer, forgot about it, and went, oh look, Christmas dinner, ta-da! You know, so it's not out of the realms of possibility of being able to make yourselves 2 to 3 months worth of meals out of 1 Christmas dinner. You know, if you're a big family, or if you're a family of 4, one of these will do you for a whole meal. You know, because that's got 4, probably a good 4 or 5 serves in it. It's a lot thicker and a lot bigger than you think it is. I'm just saying. All right, for Tanny and I, we get 8 serves out of one of them because we don't eat as much as people think we do. So, you know, and if it's used as a side dish for something else, it's going to go that much further. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see more things like this over the coming year, please let me know. I do have a lot of other things planned. We are going to get into some more basic cooking things, and all from the basics onwards. We're just going to see how we go. All right. But yeah, I really do hope you've enjoyed this. Hopefully now for the next couple of months, Tanny and I don't have to worry about food so much because we are sorted, right? We've made the meals that we need for the next couple of months, which means that we can pay the taxes, the council tax, the rent, the there's other bills that are coming out too. Oh yeah, the MOT on the car, because we discovered that we didn't have any MOT on the car, and we're like, holy crap! So, you know, that wouldn't have been good. That would not have been good. So we've got all of those to pay for. We can put a little bit more that we don't have to worry so much about the electric and the gas because we've done all this. Now yes, it's been a few days work extra, but you know what? So what? So what? If it means that our family is now able to be fed for the next 3 months, you know, and when you actually look at it and start making your leftovers and putting them away and stuff and making meals out of them, you suddenly realise, geez, I buy a lot of stuff for Christmas dinner. You really do realise just how much you buy, and you suddenly think, oh, maybe I shouldn't. But you know what? I will continue to do that. And this year I'll be growing a lot more veg because we've got the beds out the front. We'll have the containers out the back. We'll be in a better position to start the garden again. So a lot more of our veg will be grown this year. So we don't need to buy as much, but we'll have it on hand anyway. So it'll be cool. Alright guys, I'm going to go. I've waffled enough, I think. Is that another packet of sausages? Oh my god. Alright, I'm going to go. I'm going to cut this short right now. I love you guys heaps. If you really enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you would like to see from my channel this year. And we'll see what we can do about that. Okay? I love you heaps. Take care. Have a wonderful New Year's. Mwah!